Hello and welcome back. This tutorial is going to be for triangle pose or Trikonasana. So lots of different ways to get into this pose. I'm going to show you the really basic way to come from standing in the center of your mat, and then I'll show you what it looks like to move into this pose from a warrior two, because that's a pretty basic, kind of a pretty standard transition that we see a lot in our yoga classes. Lots of different ways, lots of different poses you can come into and go into from this pose, but that's just one that I'm going to show you today. So from the center of your mat, make sure you're warmed up. Hands will be on your hips, and we're going to step our feet wide. So as wide as is comfortable for you, really. Usually about 1 to 1.5 leg lengths is comfortable for me. That might be difficult for you to kind of figure out if you're not sure, but just go to where your legs feel good. We're going to turn our left toes out to the side. We're going to kick our right heel out, and our right toes are also going to be pointing in the same-ish direction as our left toes. So from here, our hips are staying open, our shoulders are still above our hips, and we have straight lines along the sides of our torso. We're going to come back to that. First, I want you to activate your thigh. So this front thigh is pulling up on the kneecap and keeping the joint safe. I'm going to show you, I don't want you to do this, but I have very hyperextensive knees. So if I deactivate this muscle and dump into this knee, my leg hyperextends, and that's putting a lot of pressure on that joint. So it's not what we're looking for. So activate this leg, hips are underneath your shoulders. We're going to take our arms up, palms facing down, and we're going to look over our left fingers. Now we want to see if we can keep this length through the side waists for as long as we can in this pose. So looking over those left fingers, think about reaching out of your hips. Left fingers are moving forward towards whatever's in front of you. Reaching, 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 trying to keep that length rather than bending through the side waist. So keep reaching, keep the thigh engaged. When you can't reach anymore, your left hand will come down maybe to your shin. Right hand lifts up, maybe you look up. You might look down. Your hand might come to the floor if you have that range while keeping that nice long side. And then there's still heaps to think about here. So we're still engaged through the back leg as well. Our right, left rib cage is rotating underneath us, so we're opening through the chest here. We're keeping our neck soft, so you don't have to look up. You might look forward or you might look down. So just see what's good. Feet are kind of pulling towards each other. Let's inhale. And then bend your knee, exhale, lift yourself up. So that's a simple triangle pose. I'm going to show you on the opposite side, just so that I'm even, how we would move into that pose from warrior two or Virabhadrasana 2. So go back and watch my warrior two tutorial if you haven't yet, and then come into warrior two safely. I'm going to find it with my right leg bent, soft shoulders, palms facing down, front knee is bent. So we're in warrior two here. Often we'll say, take a breath in. Well, I'll say, exhale, soften. And then you might inhale to reverse your warrior, leaning back. And then exhale, you'll straighten your front leg, activate the thigh, pull up on the kneecaps, reach your fingers forward, and then find the pose. Maybe looking up, maybe looking forward, maybe looking down. Your right rib cage is rotating underneath, opening up. And we find ourselves in Trikonasana. Bend your front knee, lift yourself up. Maybe you land back in warrior two. Maybe you straighten your legs, hands to hips, and walk your feet back together. And that is a very simple tutorial of Trikonasana. If you have any questions, shoot them through. Thanks for being here. Bye.